This is unexpected.
Yes, for both of us.
So why are you here?
To finally get the truth from you.
I've already told you.
You've told me nothing, other than your guilt.
That's all you need to know to represent me.
Emma said something interesting in court today.
When Lana stabbed Goodman, he was already dead.
What she said makes sense, but that still leaves the question of why.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Prove to me that I'm innocent.
First, I want to hear what happened in the car park that day.
You've heard what happened.
I don't want the witness account, I want yours.
As you wish. At 4:30, I made a phone call to Goodman, telling him to meet me in the prosecutor's car park.
Your phone had no record of a call to Goodman.
Because I erased it, Goodman arrived at 5:15, and I took my first chance and stabbed him in the chest.
Why?
As you now know, I was involved in forging evidence 2 years ago. Goodman was trying to reopen the case and he had to be stopped.
Now that much is true. That was the motive behind Goodman's death. But that was someone else's motive.
And who might that be?
Someone who, despite his heavy involvement in SL9, was never suspected of forgery. Damon Gant.
Absurd. Apart from attacking the integrity of the Chief of Police, you're saying that I covered for his crime and I'm now facing a murder charge on his behalf. Why would I do that for him?
Maybe not for him, but for someone more important to you than anything in the world.
Where did you get this?
In the safe in Gant's office. It seemed unimportant until I noticed the fingerprints on it, one of which seemed familiar. You see, when me and Emma investigated the evidence room, she tested out her fingerprinting powder on one of her own fingerprints. She then handed the impression to me, which I pocketed and completely forgot about, until we found this cloth. Her fingerprint matches the index finger on this cloth perfectly. You seem to recognize it, which figures. This definitely isn't registered evidence, which leaves me with only one conclusion. Blackmail.
You don't understand.
Maybe not, but I understand that this cloth, whatever it relates to, can mean enough trouble for Emma that you're willing to do anything to keep it locked away. Even submit to being framed for murder.
Well, as Dick Marshall said, you must know when you're beaten. You've done a fine job, Mr. Wright. You've earned the truth.
I'm listening.
Without going into too much detail, I can tell you that that cloth means that I have to do whatever Chief Gant tells me. That day, he phoned me, saying that Goodman was dead and that I was to take care of his body for him. He said I'd find it in the boot of Mr. Edgeworth's car. When I arrived, the lock on the boot had already been broken. When I opened it, I found Goodman dead, with the SL9 murder weapon embedded in his chest.
Wait, you don't mean the broken knife?
Precisely. I followed my orders and I removed the knife from Goodman's body. Then I wrapped it in my scarf and stuffed it in the car's exhaust pipe. Finally, I took the knife from Mr. Edgeworth's toolbox and tossed it into the wind.
And that was what Angel Starr saw on the security monitor.
Indeed, but unaware of this, I tried to call Emma and get her to retrieve the broken knife. But it seems fate got in the way.
I knew Emma believed in you for a reason.
I've been living like a robot for 2 years. I haven't even the heart to smile anymore. I'm no saint.
Maybe. But she knew you were no killer. And I think it's about time the rest of the world knew too.
Ah yes, but there's only one problem with that. I'm pleading guilty.
But without the cloth, Gant doesn't have any influence over you anymore.
Chief Gant's influence goes far beyond material evidence. And as long as he walks free, I will not breathe a word of this in court.
I left Emma with Gant. She could still be with him now. I came to you because I hope you care enough to help me take him down.
Gant won't harm her, just as long as I follow his orders. You've earned my respect, but to take on the Chief of Police would be reckless in the extreme.
And letting him win would be cowardice in the extreme.
I think we'll have to agree to disagree. Guard, kindly show Mr. Wright out.